It's that time again. The air grows colder, the barriers between worlds weaken. Now nothing can stop Uncle Lou from rearranging the entire layout of your fridge to better accommodate his grazing patterns. Quick, get the salt! That's right, it's wait, no, back it up a bit. There we are. It's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is coming. We're all cold, scared, and ready to get that one nap we're entitled to after the event. So what better to immerse ourselves into the spirit of the season than peanuts? So let's settle down for a bit and check in on Charlie Brown and the gang for their fall festivities. So we start with the football because Thanksgiving! In a repeat of the age-old struggle, Lucy offers the honor of kickoff to Chucko, who, true to form, falls for Lucy's new age brain magic mumbo-jumbo. You'd think after all this time, Charlie Brown would have learned not to get involved with this kind of shenaniganery. But still we watch. Perhaps we too, like Charles, are victims, doomed to repeat the failures of the past. We cut to Mr. Brown talking with his sister Sally as he hears about the corporations skipping holidays to make room for the big moneymaker. That's the ticket! We're rocking now, kids, it's Christmas! Charlie Brown is naturally worried by this, but doesn't have the time to talk about it because I don't have the time to talk about it because I have to edit this video. Next part. After explaining how wicked cool Thanksgiving is, Charlie Brown gets a call from Peppermint Patty, who will from now on be called York because it's easier for me to type. York invites herself, Marcy, and Franklin to dinner at Charlie's house for the holiday. For though the lad is but a child, he is now tasked with finding a way to feed the friendly invaders before heading over to his own family celebration at his grandmother's. Linus, being the unit that he is, offers to help. Post-decision, Snoopy and Woodstock, like the two cool kids at the get-together, take on the task of heading over to storage and preparing the table. It could have gone smoother. Following traditional Thanksgiving rituals, the two have to defeat the other relative, who has nested down for their visit and possessed a chair. Warning! Though often immobile, these relatives are known for their ability to slap you, quote, into next week. And so continues the circle of life. Pie. With the table now set, the team at Charlie's house then prepares a feast that you could only expect someone with their level of culinary expertise and low prep time to create. And my, I've got to say, they didn't do too bad of a job. All points considering, we give thanks for this bread, and that bread. Maybe don't eat out of that stack. I think it might be a little bit waxy. Oh, hey, popcorn. It's a lot of toasters. And isn't that just fancy? Okay, next. Snoopy then reveals himself to actually be the historical accuracy nut at the table and forces Woodstock to cosplay with him because it'd be really weird if he was the only one dressed up. His musket then goes off in the kitchen, traumatizing a perfectly peaceful can of cranberry sauce. And so Snoopy is forced to conform to societal norms. Why can't you just let Snoopy have his moment, Charlie? York, Marcy, and Franklin arrive and take their seats, some more broken in than others. Then Linus, honoring the holiday bylaws, section 84, subsection 5.13, stating all parties seated are subject to the observation of recitations dictatable only by the head of the table. All seated parties will postpone feeding activities contingent on medical conditions until completion of aforementioned recitation, whereupon all seated parties may resume with standard operations. Law subject to review by state or federal officials. Recites the prayer. Amen. The plates are then set with no shortage of flair. York proceeds to assume the role of chief food critic, which has to be some kind of violation of protocol, and Charlie leaves the table. Marcy, the greatest, reminds York that she invited herself and the others to someone else's home to eat their food, which solidly places Marcy between Optimus Prime and Batman on the GOAT list. York takes points against her morale and asks Marcy, the greatest, to help her repair her friendship with Chuck. Marcy leaves the table to console their host, and a joke that is way too smart for me to understand and that I'm way too lazy to research is made.
Do you remember the story of John Alden and Priscilla Mullins and Captain Miles Standish?
What? Charlie, taking the criticism to heart and feeling bad about not being able to provide an acceptable offering in the time allotted, hears Marcy out and makes up with York. Warm feelings for everyone, but what's this? Charlie's late for dinner at Grandma's. He calls her up and the legendary being tells him to invite everyone else to dinner. Warmer feelings. Truly a grandma through and through. They all hop in the family station wagon and head out singing "To Grandmother's House We Go." But there's one last stinger.
Well, there's only one thing wrong with that.
What's that, Charlie Brown?
My grandmother lives in a condominium.
No. No, no, no! That just ruined the whole meal. What are we supposed to do, Charlie Brown? Are we supposed to just be thankful for your grandma and how nice she was and stuff? Oh, okay. I got it. Snoopy and Woodstock eat their Thanksgiving dinner, and the audience is left with what else but an honest-to-goodness friendly Thanksgiving special. So that was a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, and I've watched this more times than I want to admit. There's not much I can say, mainly because this isn't a review. I just really like it, and I wanted to share it with you. So in the spirit of the season, I hope you all have a truly happy Thanksgiving. Also, hold on tight because the year is not over yet. And who knows, maybe I'll talk about Christmas special soon. And I'm done.